Some of the most replayable moments from pro wrestling is when a wrestler turns heel. A popular good guy becoming an evil villain. There have been terrific turns over the years in WWE, like Triple H turning on Shawn Michaels, Seth Rollins breaking up the Shield, or the infamous double turn of Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But for this video, I wanted to focus it on the women's division. Given how WWE were booking women in the 90s and 2000s, not as many from those years will be appearing here. But the evolution of women's wrestling in WWE has brought us some very memorable turns. I'm Duke from Duke It Out, here to give you the top 10 WWE women's heel turns. Before I begin, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more great wrestling content. Honorable mention, AJ Lee, 2012. The visual of her pushing Cena off the ladder is great, but I think I more so didn't put this on here because the next day, her and Dolph got literally shit on. Number 10, Trish Stratus, 2023. If you were wondering what made me think of doing this list, Trish Stratus replaced Lita after she was attacked backstage to defend the Women's Tag Team Championships with Becky Lynch against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv got a shocking roll-up win on Trish to win the titles, but after Becky helped Trish up, she attacked Becky from behind and hit her with a chick kick. It's the lowest on the list, mainly because I did kind of see it coming, but the moment was great, and the fact that we're getting a Trish Stratus heel run in 2023 is pretty freaking cool. Number 9, Beth Phoenix and Natalya, 2011. It's a bit of a cheat putting in two superstars, but both of their turns were a part of the same story. Beth Phoenix won a Battle Royal on Raw to become #1 contender to Kelly Kelly's Divas Championship. And when Kelly congratulated her, Beth immediately attacked the champion brutally. Well, for PG era standards. And Natalya would also do the same thing to Kelly Kelly on SmackDown, aligning herself with Beth Phoenix as the Divas of Doom. And since the early 2010s didn't have as many great runs in the Divas division, the dominance of Beth and Natalya was one of its definite highlights. Number 8, Sasha Banks, 2019. We hadn't seen Sasha in WWE at the time since she lost the Women's Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 35. Fans were unsure if she would come back since she started shooting her scenes in The Mandalorian soon after. But at the Raw after SummerSlam, she came back while Natalya was about to make an emotional speech about her late father, Jim Neidhart. It was weird timing, and she was trying to make us think that she was going to support Natalya, but immediately attacked her in and outside of the ring, then revealing her new blue hairstyle. It was a great return, and fans were excited to get a heel version of the Boss on the main roster. Number 7, Dakota Kai, 2019. This one's a lot more memorable for me because I was able to see this moment live. But they built this up very well. Going into the first ever Women's War Games match, fans were suspecting Dakota Kai to turn, since they were building up that she was feeling disrespected. But at TakeOver War Games, we didn't know when exactly it would happen. And when Dakota Kai was about to enter the match, she ran back into the entrance cage to attack her best friend, Tegan Nox. The execution was great, it brought more pressure to the babyface team, and having a heel turn happen during a match is very fun. Number 6, Charlotte Flair, 2016. Nowadays, Charlotte Flair could be the best heel in women's wrestling. But when she started on the main roster, she was booked as near the top face of the division. But you also have to remember, she's a Flair. When the Divas title reign got further in her head and Becky Lynch got a sneaky pin on her, it hit Charlotte's breaking point. While Ric Flair had Becky's attention, Charlotte made the attack from behind, and solidified her role that she's mainly kept for the rest of her career. And this really was the beginning to her amazing run in 2016. Number 5, Jacy Jayne, 2023. Another recent entry to the list, and this storyline should be a reminder to fans that NXT is still good. After Mandy Rose got released, the other members of Toxic Attraction, Jacy Jayne and Gigi Dolan, started to show cracks in their partnership. They built it up further when they both competed in a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship, and it crescendoed on a special NXT edition of Ding Dong Hello. Really mirroring the breakup of the Rockers in the barbershop, Jacy super kicked Gigi, and it seemed like Gigi was then supposed to go through the door, but what happened was even more brutal. Dolan banged her head against it, and when she didn't go through, Jacy delivered a kick, but it was a very stiff kick, and got her right in the face. The real concern everyone had for Gigi just made the turn even more impactful. Number 4, Nikki Bella, 2014. The turn that brought the infamous line, "I wish you died in the womb." The feud between Brie Bella and Stephanie had been built up for a few months, and was probably the most spotlighted WWE women's feud of the decade at that time. and it all concluded in their match at SummerSlam 2014. While it was getting to the heavy interference spots, Nikki Bella came out to her sister's aid. And when it seemed like they were both going to attack Stephanie, Nikki pulled Steph out of the way and forearmed her twin sister right in the face. It got a great reaction from the crowd, and it ended with the only way it could. Triple H trying to sneak a peek at Nikki's Bellas. Number 3. Bayley, 2019. Bayley had been the babyface of all babyfaces in the women's division since 2015. But it had gotten to a point where the booking ruined that character, and there were occasions where some fans would straight up boo her. So when Bayley had a chair in hand next to her friend and recently heel-turned Sasha and a downed Becky Lynch, Bayley hit Becky with the chair, and it wasn't more so necessarily shocking she did it, but that WWE actually booked it. And soon after destroying the wacky waving inflatable tubed men, she then said afterward, "Screw all of you." And Bayley continues to be one of the best heels in the company. Number 2, Trish Stratus, again, 2005. Trish is the only one to appear on this list twice, but I had to include both. Chris Jericho and Christian were having an entertaining soap opera-like storyline trying to win the affection of Trish Stratus. Filled with bets, heartbreak, romantic intrigue with Jericho and Trish, leading to Jericho versus Christian at WrestleMania 20. When it seemed like Jericho was going to win the match and the girl, Trish would end up slapping the taste out of Jericho's mouth to help Christian win the match. And an insult of injury to Jericho, Stratus and Christian made out at the top of the ramp. The ruthless aggression era was a long time ago, huh? And number 1, Becky Lynch, 2018. While some could argue if this was even a heel turn because almost everyone wanted this to happen, it's still technically considered one, and it's in my opinion the best. While Charlotte was the star of the company, Becky was always extremely beloved by fans. So when Charlotte threw Becky out to steal her SmackDown Women's Championship win at SummerSlam 2018, the fans also felt screwed over. Charlotte still pulled the babyface strategy and showed Becky her respect, but Becky tossed that out the window and slapped Charlotte to start the beginning of what led to Becky Lynch becoming the man. Not many heel turns can get "you deserve it" chants, but this one is pretty justified. So those are my top 10 WWE women's heel turns. Please let me know any of your favorite heel turns or any that I missed in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and duke out your opinions below in the comments.